The 18th century Dakshinapatha saw the efflorescence of devotional literature in languages like Kannada, Telugu, and Tamil. Much of it is in the form of poetry that sings paeans about the pomp and glory of Lord Venkateshwara and the great temple of Tirumala, giving us the impression of happy and peaceful times. However, as we glean through the contemporary historical records of the Tirumala temple, we get a completely contrasting and disturbing picture. During the chaotic political scenario that prevailed over the 18th century Deccan, the areas around Tirumala were invaded by Muslims, Marathas, and the British in turns. The Maratha army under Raghoji fought with the Nawab of Arcot and killed him at Damal Cheruvu in Chittoor district. Later it looted the areas around the holy town of Tirumala. Around 1733, Safdar Ali became the Nawab of Arcot and paid 50,000 rupees from Tirumala temple treasury to the Maratha army to get rid of them. 11 years later, Muhammad Ali, fighting for Arcot Nawab, siphoned 2 lakh rupees from the Tirumala treasury to pay Robert Clive for the military assistance he rendered. In 1750, Muhammad Ali assigned the revenues of Tirumala and Tirupati temples to the East India Company as a token of his gratitude for the military assistance they provided. For the next 20 years, not only did the Tirumala and Tirupati treasuries bleed their revenues, but the temple towns also saw pitched battles fought in the plains surrounding the hills. Finally, in 1843, the East India Company handed over the management of Tirumala shrine to the Mahants, thus ending the chaos and confusion. This dark and painful chapter in Tirupati history had its beginnings in the 17th century when the great Hindu empire of Vijayanagara was on its deathbed. The Kaifiyats or traditional records of 18th century reveal further disturbing accounts in the history of the temple. After the death of Venkatapati Devaraya, or Venkata II in 1614, Vijayanagara Empire fell into chaos. For over 3 decades, palace intrigues, revolts, and civil wars have torn the empire to shreds. Soon after Vijayanagara got dismembered in the mid-17th century, the Sultan of Golconda invaded and carried out unspeakable atrocities in the areas around Tirupati and Tirumala. A Telugu poet, Nallakalva Veerakavi Sitapati, was a witness to these atrocities. He promptly recorded the acts of cruelty committed by the invaders as he saw them. Dr. P. Rajani Kumari, who did an extensive research on the Kaifiyats of Tirupati, writes, "The reference to Qutub Shahi invasion of the Tirupati pilgrim complex is found in the literary work Sri Venkatachala Satakam. It describes the atrocities of the Muslim forces committed against Hindus. This Satakam also describes the plunder carried out by the invaders in Hindu religious centers such as Kanchi, Kalahasti, Chidambaram, and Srisailam. The extent of destruction and desecration narrated by the poet will leave the readers shell-shocked. The murtis of the deities inside the temples were vandalized. Vessels used for preparing prasadams were given away to fakirs or Muslim tramps. Flower gardens that belonged to the temples were destroyed. Fish and meat were cooked inside the premises with the intent of desecrating them. Pushkaranis or the temple tanks turned red with the blood of cows, sheep, and goats that were slaughtered there. Dr. Rajani Kumari places this invasion between 1640 and 1645. There are documentary evidences for the Qutub Shahi invasion of Nellore and Kadapa regions in 1642, when the armies of Abdullah Qutub Shah attacked the Vijayanagara dominions. The records of the factories set up by the English in Vijayanagara provinces also confirm the attack of Golconda on Vijayanagara territories in 1642. Citing these references, Dr. Rajani Kumari concludes, the composer of Shatru Samhara Sataka, Sri Nallakalva Sitapati, had not only witnessed the destruction personally, but he was a victim of the invasion too. Hence, his narrations cannot be put aside as exaggerations. Let us now hear the poet and his lament.
వడిగుళ్ళు సాచి దేవళ్ళ బద్దలు చేసి ధట్టించి తేజీలన్ కట్టునప్పుడు వడిగుళ్ళు సాచి దేవళ్ళ బద్దలు చేసి ధట్టించి తేజీలన్ కట్టునప్పుడు జిగురు పాలకటంచున్ చిగిరించు రావి మ్రాకులు నజ్జుగాన్ కొట్టునప్పుడు గురు సార్వభౌముల గోడు పోసుక పట్టే నామముల్ మొదలంట నాకునప్పుడు గద్దించి వెనవైదికపు బాపనయ్యల పిల్ల జుట్లూడంగ పెరకునప్పుడు సెక్కెమా నీకు తురకలం జక్కు చేయ విన్నవించితి నా వెర్రి విన్నపంబు పరగమీ చిత్తమిదే నాదు భాగ్యమౌరా శత్రు సంహార వెంకటాచల విహార పొట్టేళ్ల గతి పట్టి బోడి సన్యాసుల ఢీయని తాకులాడించునొకడు సోమయాజుల బ్రహ్మసూత్రముల్ త్రెంచి సింగాణి విండ్లకు నల్లె కట్టునొకడు పైకాలు గొమ్మని బల్మికోమటి వారి చెలువపై బడి బూతు సేయునొకడు యవనం నమ్మర్ధ దుర్దినంబైన దిగువ తిరుపతిని చూడు ఇటువంటి తరిని నిదురపోవుచున్నాడు మీ అన్న లేవలేక శత్రు సంహార వెంకటాచల విహార వెంకటాచల విహార మామిడి క్రింది సోమరిపోతూ శ్రీ భాష్యకారులకేలనంగరము కొదువా అలమేలు మంగ సొమ్ముల పెట్టియలు కాచుకొని ఉండుటే చాలు హనుమనికిని ఠీవినిన్ పంకమంటి విరులల్ సమర్పించి విరుల సమర్పించి తెరుగాటు కరిగెను గురువనంబి చెంచు మిఠారితోన్ పంచబాణ క్రీడలోలుడయ్యను కప్పడాలను హరి చెంచు మిఠారితోన్ పంచబాణ క్రీడలోలుడయ్యను కప్పడాలను హరి. నీకు మది కోపమింతయు లేకపోయే పోయే, నీకు మది కోపమింతయు లేకపోయే, పోయే నాకేమి పోయెగాకేమి. తొండమాన్ భూమి పాలుడున్న నింతకున్, తురకలమన్ని గొసడే శత్రు సంహార, వెంకటాచల విహార. శత్రు సంహార వెంకటాచల విహార, శత్రు సంహార వెంకటాచల విహార.
The holy towns of Tirupati and Tirumala have suffered heavily during 17th and 18th centuries. Their temples were destroyed, treasures were looted, men, women, and children were either killed or enslaved. The once peaceful temple towns that helped many a devotee find peace and solace have been pillaged and desecrated. It goes to the credit of devout Hindus who not only held their nerve in the face of unspeakable atrocities perpetrated against the culture, but also reasserted themselves sooner than later that the sacred abodes of Tirumala and Tirupati still retain their essential Hindu character and are blessing us by being the wellsprings of spirituality that they have always been.